Everybody is looking for answers to what happened that night. It was a night like many others in the nation's capital. The sky was dark, the air was cold, and the lights of the city twinkled below. But on this night, January 29th, 2025, the ordinary took a terrifying turn. At approximately 8:48 p.m., tragedy struck above the Potomac River. An American Airlines CRJ-700, Flight 5342, collided with a U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter. The crash site, a chilling scene of debris and devastation, quickly became a beacon of emergency response. The nation watched, holding its breath, as the initial shock gave way to a wave of questions. What happened, and how could it have been prevented? If you want to stay updated on this and other aviation investigations, make sure to subscribe to our channel. American Airlines Flight 5342, a Bombardier CRJ-700, was on its final descent into Reagan National Airport. The flight, originating from Wichita, Kansas, carried 64 souls, passengers and crew, looking forward to landing after a long journey. The pilots, following standard procedure, were in contact with air traffic control, their plane a blip on the radar screens. Unbeknownst to them, another aircraft shared the darkening skies. A U.S. Army Black Hawk helicopter on a routine training mission cut through the night. The helicopter, with a crew of 3, was supposed to be operating within strict altitude limits, a safety measure to prevent exactly this kind of disaster. However, for reasons yet unknown, the helicopter deviated from its approved flight path. It climbed above 300 feet, putting it in the direct path of the descending American Airlines jet. The investigation into the cause of the collision is ongoing, a complex puzzle with many pieces. The National Transportation Safety Board, NTSB, the lead agency in these matters, is meticulously piecing together the events leading up to the crash. One area of particular interest is the actions of the Black Hawk helicopter crew. The investigation revealed that the helicopter's pilot had actually seen the American Airlines jet on his collision avoidance system. Why then, with the looming threat in plain sight, did the pilot not take evasive action? Did a mechanical failure occur? Were there communication breakdowns? Adding another layer of complexity to the tragedy is the issue of air traffic control staffing. On the night of the collision, the control tower at Reagan National Airport was not fully staffed. A single controller was responsible for managing both airplane and helicopter traffic, a demanding task even under normal circumstances. Did this increased workload contribute to the tragedy? Were there missed opportunities to identify and address the converging flight paths? These are just some of the questions that the NTSB is working tirelessly to answer. The immediate aftermath of the collision was a scene of chaos and heartbreak. Emergency response teams raced to the crash site, their efforts hampered by the darkness and the unforgiving waters of the Potomac. The Coast Guard, utilizing boats and helicopters, scoured the river for survivors, a glimmer of hope fading with each passing hour. The grim reality of the situation settled in. There were no survivors. The recovery efforts shifted focus from rescue to recovery. Divers braved the icy waters to locate and retrieve the bodies of the victims, a somber task made even more difficult by the wreckage scattered across the riverbed. The 12th Aviation Battalion, the unit responsible for the Black Hawk helicopter involved in the crash, was immediately grounded. The operational pause, lasting 48 hours, gave the Army time to conduct internal reviews and safety checks. It also served as a stark reminder of the inherent risks associated with military aviation. Reagan National Airport, a critical transportation hub for the nation's capital, was temporarily closed following the collision. The closure, while disruptive, allowed for a thorough assessment of the runways and airspace to ensure the safety of future flights. If you found this video informative, please subscribe to our channel for more in-depth coverage and updates.